Well, Gary, I think this is fantastic. You have a couple of weeks off on holiday, and look what the team have done to the eFIXX TV set.
Yeah, Rick's come a long way with his wiring, but he's also embedded some smart technology in this area for us as well.
And smart technology is what we're talking about on eFIXX TV this week. That conversation when the customer phones up and says, I'd like a smart home. And of course, smart means different things to different people. You could be starting from a smart doorbell or a smart thermostat and ending up where, Gary?
Yeah, so we think this is more of a ladder, don't we? So the first stage is maybe using that mobile phone and going all the way up through the stages. We level up our smart technology to rooms like the one we're sitting in today. However, we don't think we've got quite to stage 5, so make sure you stay tuned for that.
And indeed, we're learning these stages ourselves today. And to help us on the smart home journey, we've got some fantastic experts. We're joined by David Kitchener, who is the founder of the EiLive show that is coming up in September. We'd love to see you there, and Gary'd love to get some really difficult questions for his session that he's chairing at that show. And joining David, we have John Thompson from Oldfield Electrical, who has 18 years experience in installing smart home systems, helping the customers and helping you, the electrician. So there's some great learning in tonight's show. We're learning as well, aren't we, Gary?
It sounds like I'm going to need to do a lot of learning because I'll be down in Farnborough in September taking all these questions allegedly that you've suggested that I'm going to be able to answer.
Yeah, and just remember, Gary is analog man trapped in a digital world. He's now moving on.
Good evening and welcome to eFIXX TV, live streamed out on Facebook and YouTube every fortnight. It's great to be back, and you will have noticed, yes, he is back and he's over there and he's doing the post as we speak now. Joe's finished his 2 weeks holiday, so it's great to see him back as well. We'd love you to get involved in the show, and how do you do that? By simply leaving a comment. By commenting, you'll get in the register later on the show, and regular commenters will find themselves possibly in the end credits. And with that in mind, to kick you off on getting your first comment in, one of us has had a birthday recently, so to start that comment off, we'd like to say, suggest how old Gordon was on this time's round's birthday. So there you go, nice easy one. You've only got to put a number in, and just to help you, you'll only need 2 characters in that number as well. Gordon.
That was good, that guy, because I saw you'd put that down on your on the running order. I thought, birthday, whose birthday? That's just yeah, very good. Anyway, tonight is all about smart home. We've had a fantastic day with our guests, and hopefully we can pass some of that information on to you tonight. So stay tuned. It's great if you want to grow your business, get into some new areas, find out what's happening on smart homes. And all of us are probably in smart homes, even though you probably might not like to admit it. You have some smart devices. About taking that to another level. And there's another fantastic reason to stay on tonight. Challenges, you know we love challenges. Tonight's, for one night only, we've got Rick versus Gary in a tool challenge. So this is a Rick's tool time. You'll want to say, I haven't seen it myself yet, so I'm going to be intrigued to see how that plays out and who's going to end up with, who's going to end up in a challenging situation on that one. And of course, it's holiday season. Gary's been on holiday up there in the Orkney Islands with his sheep. I've just got back from Portsmouth. Joe Robinson is away this week, but I have seen he is in the comments, which is great, how he's managed to tune in from Mauritius.
Yes.
And I'd also like to know how he got his paddleboard past his wife, through the excess baggage and all the way out there.
Yeah, okay. And for the first time ever, yeah, we are going to genuinely admit where he is as well. So, yeah, it's been a once-in-a-lifetime trip for Joe and his family to get out there to Mauritius. So we're looking forward to seeing some wonderful holiday photographs. That's where you got the absolute blue sea where you can see down at the fish. I think snorkeling's one of the best in the world, isn't it?
It is, and he has promised to produce the news as usual on Monday. I know what's in the headlines of that because I've seen that whizzing round. So stay tuned. We'll see how Joe manages to produce the news from Mauritius on his paddleboard.
Okay, you set the challenge out. I love it. However, we couldn't bring you this show fortnightly without the great help of the sponsors of this show. So we'd like to thank our headline sponsor. We'd like to thank the great people at the Lasico Group. We'd also like to thank who, Gordon?
Doncaster Cables, guys.
You're taking them off.
I am taking them off.
You're doing the next 3. Come on.
Yeah, Doncaster Cables, Loudon Palazzoli, all the way from the Italy of East Essex down there in Braintree, and of course My Energy.
Absolutely, yeah. And it sort of links into them as well, doesn't it? Because they've got a system that links together, and linking systems together makes life a lot easier. But first of all, let's unpack our journey into smart, because some people will say I'm absolutely zero smart. Okay, but that's not the case, is it, Gordon?
No. So I'm a typically, I wouldn't say an early adopter, I'm a close follower, should I say, when smart. So, I mean, my smart journey started, obviously, because I'm from a lighting background, so I started with some lighting control at home, because I love lighting control, and that's always makes a massive difference to any space, regardless of the budget.
Yeah.
But I've got put a Rayco system in there, and then when the Nest thermostat sprung onto the market, and I see Sergio Fernandez already in there, he's an early Nest person, talking about things like, as soon as Nest brought something out, I had it.
Good.
I got the smoke alarms, the thermostat, and all that, and that's probably 2012.
Wow.
I think that started to come onto the market, and a sort of first learning product, and that opened up the market. But sort of promised loads in the early days, and then sort of fizzled away. But we'll come back to that later in the show when we'll talk about things like the new Matter protocol coming along. That I think is going to open up loads of opportunities for everyone, regardless of what level of smart home. We're going to touch on some levels.
Yes.
But Gary, we'll touch on your smart home. Are you a smart home person?
Yeah, so, and again, I'd believe if there was a ladder of, say, 1 to 5, which we're going to talk about, I'd say I'm at 0. I was saying, and then all of a sudden, when we're having these conversations, have you got a smart speaker? Yes, I have. I asked my smart speaker, I won't say the name of her. I asked the smart speaker to send me the news, and they tell me the news. And then I've obviously got a smartphone, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're thinking, I've got a smart telly. I absolutely love my smart telly. I'm an early adopter of that. I think I've had it about 7 months now. So when you get your smart telly, we'll be able to have that conversation about how fantastic they are. And all of a sudden, I'm throwing my apps onto my screen and all the rest of it. But I'd say to everyone, I'm not a smart technology adopter. But until you think about it, there is some smart already in there. I think everyone's at level 1 almost. Did you agree?
Yeah, it is, yeah. But I think you're a sort of quiet adopter, really, because Gary says he's not in smart. He sticks as analog man trapped in a digital world, but that's just so he can avoid getting some of the more technical products that drop through the door. I don't know anything about that, so I don't have to talk about it. But unfortunately, he passes them either to me or now his new understudy for this, Rick, has been picking up the app-based stuff at the minute.
Yeah, and again, that's a video coming out, and it's incredible, and I've got to thank Rick. I'll thank him on the camera. He's taught me through that app, and I understood it instantly after I'd gone through it. So yeah, it's great. So that's where we can all say we're there. We've all got a smartphone at least, haven't we? Yeah, so we're all at that sort of level. But then we're going to walk ourselves through these levels, and we want everybody else to chip in. Mr. Fernandez has already chipped in with his Nest thermostat. So again, to get into the comments, get into the register, start saying the type of smart technology you're interacting with, maybe on a personal level, or maybe in a business level as well, to help us in the comments.
Yeah, and there's some good comments coming in, particularly about my age.
Oh, is there some age ones coming in? So what's the top end?
Well, I think the youngest got me down at 39, obviously getting close to it. And
you need to sit closer to the telly.
72, but it's obviously people...
Yeah, spot on.
And there's a tip here at eFIXX. If you want to look 10 years younger, stand next to Gary.
Yeah. You've got to be thinking.
Anyway, I think
delusional.
On that, supporting people through smart homes, we've got some fantastic guests for you tonight. We've got the founder of the EiLive show. Let's have a look. Are they in the green room?
Yay! Can we have a wave?
There looks like the nervous. Yeah, and that's we've got David. That's David Kitchener, and we've got John Thompson from our local smart home supplier, who's going to do some sort of best. We just welcome them in.
Yeah,
ready to go.
Yeah, let's get them in. Soon get the experts in. We can stop talking. Yeah. In you come, gents. So in come from the green room. You have to get up and move. This bit.
Yes.
Oh, here they come.
Oh, David, sneaking around there.
I'll squeeze past.
This could be fun.
Squeeze past there. We'll move the chairs back.
I think.
Okay.
That's it.
Welcome, David.
Thank you.
John.
How we doing?
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
Yeah.
So there is subtitles appearing for John. Because what does he go by the name of?
Scottish John at work. Yeah. Matty Boy told me that. So Matty Boy said when he gets down there, make sure you call him Scottish John. And we saved it all the way to maths labs before we threw that one in.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Yeah, we did. So.
And David, you've trekked all the way up from Kent.
5-hour journey.
Yeah.
And here I am.
That's it. And we're still around. So we'll have to see whether they're still around. So best, we'll cut to it first. Obviously, people like to know a little bit more about the guests, apart from what we've told them already. So we'll start with you first, David. Tell us about David.
My name's David Kitchener. I founded a company called All Things Media some 14, 15 years ago. I founded it with a magazine called Essential Install, which is now the leading AV and home automation magazine in the industry. Along the way, I bought a magazine called ECN. Some of you guys, you know it very well, but we now own Electrical Contracting News. And the reason for going out and trying to buy ECN, as we did, is that the two industries, the home automation industry, the smart home industry, which we're talking about tonight, and ECN Electricians, they go hand in hand. That was the reason for buying them. Well, we own a myriad of things, websites and newsletters and so on, but the main reason I'm here tonight is to talk about EiLive. EiLive, again, I founded EiLive as a one-day show back something like 13, 14 years ago. It was quite clear to me that there was a show in the industry then that was actually very southern bias. It was run by an association. but in its exhibitor base and its visitor base was very southern bias. So I put together a one-day show in Manchester, priced it right, in my view. There was a bit of a groundswell of discontent in those days because people were paying too much money for exhibition stands. Organisers were asking for too much money, and the ROI wasn't there. So a lot of shows were diminishing and basically getting lost to the industry. We launched our show, EiLive, as a one-day show. We priced it very competitively. I seem to remember, because I was a start-up then, I seem to remember that my margin really would make your eyebrows raise. Well, 13, 14 years on, it's now the major show in this industry. It's the only dedicated AV and home automation show in the UK. It's now at Farnborough. We've outgrown 2 or 3 venues. It's now at Farnborough, which is a purpose-built exhibition hall, and we've had a great time over the last 3 years since we've been there. But the reason I was quite keen to be here tonight and talk to these wonderful eFIXX guys and the people out there is that we've encouraged electricians to come to our show for many years. Why? Because the electricians should, in my view, and could, move into the smart home sector. It would represent another string to their bow. It would represent another string to their financial bow. It would increase their business. Electricians tend to smack me around the head when I say this, but if you guys go into a home, you wire a house up, but you stop there. Well, to me, that's half a job. Why do that? Why not stay on and hang some flat screens? Maybe upsell to the people you're talking to. I know we're going to talk about the 1 to 7 ladder, which I know is interesting.
1 to 5.
1 to 5 ladder. 1 to 5. I'm being corrected there. But it's introducing the smart home industry, AV and home automation industry to electricians.
Okay.
And let me do, before we do that, the first step to do that, the first step to number 1 is come to EiLive.
Okay.
And you'll know all about it.
Thank you very much for watching. So we'll be back in 2 weeks when we will be live again here on YouTube. Thank you very much. We'd like to thank the great sponsors of this. You had 60 seconds. 60 seconds.
How did I know that was going to happen?
Here we go then. So,
John, you're already living the journey.
So I'll keep it sweet. So after being at a bit of a loose end, after being in the army, I ended up sort of getting into the satellite and aerial installation industry. Did that for a few years, moved back up to Lancashire, worked for an audiovisual company for 13 years, and then worked for Oldfield for the past 5 years. And now I look after and encourage electrical contractors to take on audiovisual and sort of smart home installations.
yeah, it's really interesting what that role that the wholesaler can offer there as well. And we went up there and obviously shot our intro there. It wasn't Rick's hard work. I'm sorry to dampen down Rick's expectations there of what we thought he could do, but we'll probably come back to that as well. But yeah, there's that support, and I think that's the missing bit, isn't it? It's that the education, whether that's training or whether that's support, from being the great electrician to being somebody who can offer more stuff. And if we offer more stuff, what does that mean to us, Gordon?
Yeah, well, more money, hopefully. And
Yeah.
big growing business, successful business. But obviously you touched on it, electrician, Gary. So David, just go, you're not an electrician?
Nope.
Yep. And John, you started off in TV aerials.
Yes.
Yeah, which is a virtually fully qualified spark.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, just like you only threw that in a dinner. That for us.
Yeah, no danger.
So, right, so on that bombshell, we think we need to find out actually how close to being electricians our guests are, Gary.
Would you like to set a timer for people to get their timers?
So I think it's time
dear.
to bring in the timer.
Okay.
And what you've got to do, folks, you've got to suggest who is going to win the challenge between David. So if you think it's David, put David in 2 minutes 35.
The humble publisher.
Yep. Oh, he's trying to get in there. Or John, the television aerial fitter, the former television aerial, put John and 7 minutes 20. In for John. So it's simple as that. So the name of the person you think is going to win and the time you think they're going to do it in.
Okay, that's nice and simple. So if you get the right person, you're already in with the chance of not receiving a prize in the post.
Yeah.
And we will come back to that at some point as well this evening, because it is getting a little bit tiresome. Okay, so play along because you want to play along for the fun. If you happen to win a fortnight in the Seychelles, you're probably not going to get the tickets through the post. Okay, so that's the idea.
Joe might bring you something back from Mauritius.
Yeah, it might do. I'm hoping he is. I've asked him for a little bit of maybe white sand and little things. That's about as close as I'm going to get. I'll be able to touch the sand, I said to him, if you bring me a little bit back. So we're nearly there on time. We have no idea who's up first. You're going to see it for the first time as well. Do you know how well you did?
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, you got more competitive as the day went on. You got less competitive, I would suggest. You got even more laid back after the first run.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I went worse as I went on.
Okay, that's good. Well, let's just roll it. Let's get into
Well,
it.
some time's bubbling in now, so yeah. Oh, it's split actually.
Is
It's
it?
Split, yeah. Have we hoodwinked the audience,
Yeah,
Gary?
we normally do, don't we?
Yeah. Let's
Sit back and relax.
bring in. Here we go. Let's go.
Okay.
Who's up first? We don't even know.
Who's first? No, never know who's first. Here we go.
Oh,
Dave,
Straight in there, concentration.
Well, we've
first
jumped forward a bit here, so okay. So here we go. So straightening our cable, really important we get it straight. So you've left a nice little table there, little bench for your tools, and we're going to see that probably throughout this race wall. So we're going to do the screws.
You got the twist there. It's
Yeah.
good. Normally people start with the cables after they've taken
Both at the same time, aren't they? Like the old TV, isn't it? Trying to tune in the TV and find a new channel at the same time. Off comes the socket, down on the table, right? Put the screwdriver down on the table. What's next?
I thought you were going to speed this up.
Yeah, well, we're probably going to have to cut out great big swathes of it, I would think. Did you get it up first time? Let's see if you've got it. You did. That's a good start. That's saved you minutes.
Right,
that
round
is.
Lasico, man.
Concentration.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'd just like to say, full head of hair there. Well done. Well
Thank
done.
you, Gary.
Yeah, well
That's
done.
the nicest thing you've said to me all day.
And it'll probably be the only thing that I say nice all day to you, so that's good. So you've got a full set of head there. Maybe I'm setting myself up for the next one. Okay, so here we go. The concentration on your face, yeah, is not without notice there, that you look like you want to do it well here. So we're putting the neutral conductor in, we've put the line conductor in, and now we're putting our protective conductor in. Okay, that's all good, looks great. Okay, hang on. Whoa. Hang on, where'd that brown one go? Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
The wrong hole.
Oh, right.
That's a first.
All
I
right,
suggest.
okay.
Yeah, so it's in the right part of the breaker, just in the wrong breaker. Yeah, okay, so we're back
The
in.
words are right, but the tune is wrong.
Did you know there was a face cam?
I didn't know any of this.
You did like our strippers though, because when you came in, that was the first thing you said, that you were good at stripping with a knife.
People know me, I always like strippers.
Okay, yeah, brilliant. Okay. Moving fast, well, we won't be moving quickly on, we'll be moving on at a very leisurely pace, I would suggest here as we go. Earth in the back box, it's all good. Can't see the watch yet, I always like to comment on the watch. Nice pair of shoes. So here we go. So we've got a couple of connections in here. Again, I like the way that table or the little Nick Ramo step's been used as the workbench.
Yeah, a little workbench.
Yeah, but every opportunity we drop it back on there. Look at that, and back again. So what we're going to need now. So
Rick's new Ketter in.
there we go. So we've got the cables, back in with the screw. We obviously had to pick the screwdriver back up. I'm surprised we didn't put it back on the table to get the neutral conductor in. Oh, it's line next. Okay. Is it in the right hole, I wonder? Let's look closely.
Yeah, did we
Is
miss
it in the right hole? Yeah, it's good. It's good. Oh, yes, fantastic. We're getting there. Okay, this is an edited version of the race wall. And we were luckily, because we started at 11:30 and we managed to finish it before we went live at 8. Which was always good. Yeah. So here we go. 2 screws away from seeing what you are. You're laughing. We ain't seen yours yet.
I don't,
That's an early laugh, John.
I don't think it makes me look too bad.
No, looks good. Here we go. Straight into John. Here we go. This is going to feel like we're on super fast motion, I would suggest. Wow, we're down already. So here we go. Cracking beard, by the way, I'd like to suggest to you there, John.
Yeah.
More of the beard, very good. So obviously we got that coax background, so more than one connection in the back of a plate's going to be a bit complicated for you. So here we go. So yeah, have you listened? Twist and straighten. So that's a nice watch. Look at that. Is it a smart watch?
It is.
Yeah, of course it is. All
Right,
right, here we go.
here we go.
Oh, hang on.
There you go.
Oh, whoa. There's a whiff of a sunroof. Or should we say
Solar panel. Solar panel.
Solar panel now. As
We have a
moved on
solar
there.
panel.
Yeah, back in the old days, little sunroof, but we've got a solar panel going on there. It looks like you're not quite at the full array yet. You look like you've got maybe 1 or 2 panels poking through the back of there.
Shading, Gary, they call it in the industry.
I'd say there's a bit of... I'd imagine you're a bit careful in the morning with a comb.
Well, I'm combing the beard over.
Well, yeah, just a little bit of excellence about moving. There it is again. Oh, you got lucky there. We were in the way, but I'm sure. Well, hello. Yeah. Oh, concentration. Yeah, here we go. So let's see if we get the overhead shot. I think we're going to get full confirmation in a minute about
Proper hanging out there, but it's not about. We've just got to be in there.
It's only got to
Hasn't got to be pretty.
No, it hasn't. Nice pair of shoes. Both came in brown shoes today. I like it. There it was again. We all saw it, didn't we?
You don't need to tidy up.
So you screwdriver in the mouth. Now this is going to be interesting.
Right.
So it's still in the mouth. You don't actually need that screwdriver now if you've used it in the consumer unit. It's like a pacifier, is it? So it's just
Sort of,
dog
yeah.
with a bone.
There was a bit of a smell though earlier on, so it's to stop me from gagging, I think.
there it is, folks. We saw it, didn't we? Yes. It's like you've got a carpet and a lino in the same
Isn't there
room.
a touch of Captain Jack there from the Pirates of Caribbean?
There is. Yeah, look, there it is, folks. Fully on show. The work in the mornings, hours. He lives 45 minutes away. I reckon he rigs around the corner and it takes him 45 minutes to get his hair sorted. Here we go. So, in we go. You see why Matty Boy don't want to do it, can't you?
Oh, we've put the other screwdriver down there.
We have, yeah. I'd imagine the saliva was running out of his beard. Here we go. 2 connections on the CPC, 1 line, 1 neutral and 2 screws, and we will have this one wrapped up and buttoned up. So they look roughly the same time. You look like you're a little bit more proficient with the screwdriver, John, but it can be deceptive. Remember, we have edited these down, so if this was a run where you, John, got stuck in the conduit several times and it was your best time, we'd have only seen the one up the conduit.
Okay.
So, hello.
Nearly.
Yeah.
I think you could.
Those coax points can go on either way around, though, can't they?
They can.
Yeah, they're not handed, are they? That's what's done you. Yeah. TV works.
Are you a scuba diver, John? Do you go scuba diving?
No.
No, someone spotted a watch and thinks, he wears a diver's watch. Doesn't actually, could be dangerous. That's like having a swimming certificate on your towel. People think you're a good swimmer.
Certificate on the towel, that's what it would.
We warned you that at school.
No.
Oh, when you used to get those badges, don't put them on your towel because you could borrow somebody's towel and they think you're a good swimmer.
I like that because I used to have them on the trunks, the old Aqua Pack Awards.
Yeah.
Anyone remember those? Gold, silver and bronze. You had to swim for about 3 days in your pyjamas to get a gold one.
Yeah, so don't wear scuba and neither see people think, he's an expert, throw him in. So.
I'll bear that in mind.
They're an observant lot here.
Okay, meanwhile, back at the show. Okay.
Yes, meanwhile,
Is there a show? Oh, yes.
we got distracted.
Right.
Right, so looking across at the board here, before we give you your time, where do you think, David, where do you think you're sitting on there? Is anyone you recognise on there? You think, I'd like to beat him?
Don't know.
Yeah.
No. If I'm on the board,
Yeah.
I'll be happy.
Right, okay.
Unless I'm on the board behind me or on the garage door.
Yep. And John, anyone?
Well, I
A
reckon.
colleague on there.
Yeah, I do. I recognise Darren Howson on there, and I think he is an electrician. So I think if I could finish somewhere just close behind him, I think I'd be happy with
Your
that.
body language is so lion. You got in the cross-leg position, just smiling. You are praying this is.
No. If I can be somewhere around him, I'll be happy.
Right.
Who are we going for first, Gordon?
David, we'll go with you first, actually. I am going to be kneeling down, I'll tell you that now. But actually, from where you started, this is a pretty commendable time. You did this in 6 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 32.
You beat Rick?
Which is actually faster than Rick, who works
Oh,
on our
yes.
team there.
That is proper kicking there. Yeah. Okay, just take Rick's off.
I have to say, gentlemen, I'm happy with that.
I'd be very happy with that, actually. And you just for a bit of calibration on there, you've got above here, you've got Stephen Lester at Weha Tools. So there's someone who sells tools, and you're just a little bit slower than him.
Wow.
So there you go. But two
Wow.
people are usually rubbish. So that's the one. Right, okay.
Rick.
Well, John, some good news, actually.
All right.
You
Some
will
good
be
news.
popular in the
Hair transplants are getting cheaper.
You did this in 5 minutes and 12.
Wow.
Which is 8 seconds faster
An electrician.
than Darren Howson.
Oh, well, I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah.
Twice on Sundays.
Well, congratulations, John.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Both good times for non-dart players.
I mean, you beat Rick. When you came here today and you saw Rick, did you think,
You are kidding me.
destroyed him? You beat Rick.
No.
Hang on.
Yes, you're on the board.
Hang on.
And what?
What time did he get?
Yeah, he beat Rick.
Because I'm looking at mine, it says 6:25.
And what did we get?
6:32.
Wow, Rick, you've dropped. Wow, now let's just get Rick in. Bring yourself in, Rick. Let's see your dignity, mate. So you've had to pick the mic up to try and save yourself here, young man. This bloke publishes for a living. You're a Sparky, and you've come over the top.
am I Sparky now?
Yeah, you're Sparky.
Oh, that's
well,
news-
according
news
to some
to me.
people. Yeah, YouTube Sparky accounts. You're fully qualified YouTube Sparky. Yeah, and you wanted to jump in with you were quicker.
Oh, what?
Well, okay.
What?
Yeah. No pride needed, mate.
Switch it over, Joe. Switch it over. I'm off.
Yeah, make sure the door doesn't hit you on the way out. Well done, you beat Rick.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Wow.
Yeah, so
great.
bragging rights all round.
What was that car pulling away? That was Rick, was it? Oh.
Yeah, it's all right.
So loads of interesting stuff coming in. There must be there's some smart home people on because they're trotting off names of what they got on. We've got people with Lightwave, RF5, Alexa, Lutron, Draytech, etc. Must be one of your customers. PoE switch. You don't know a Colin Webb, do you?
No.
Sounds like there's some ones here. There's a lot of smart home people on there. A lot of people questioning the qualification of smart home installers. So there's some
Absolutely,
real
yes,
bodgers out
absolutely,
there,
yeah.
which we will come on to training later on. Oh, hold on, what here? Something in.
Was that because our smart technology kicked in, was
It
it?
is, that's our smart technology kicking in.
So
Smart demos.
Yeah, no, Rick's doing it. He's a melt, isn't he? Yeah, okay. So we said we were going to sort of layer this in.
We've got to start with what a
Scene.
smart home is.
Let's set the scene. That's where we're going. Yeah. So what is a smart home? Yeah, that's the thing. So, your experience, John?
Yeah, so smart home is a home that's connected through various smart devices, whether it be lighting, heating, audio, visual, security, everything that's then coupled together. That's what makes it a smart home, where it's completely integrated. So that's the sort of the presence of a smart home.
So my mum, who's just got a smart meter, she doesn't fall into that category.
No, so that would be level 1. That's very much sort of no to little technology at all.
Okay.
Yeah, and what's Gary's level then? Because he's just got a smart telly.
Level 2.
Well, you've shot up there.
I love
haven't
it.
you? Yeah.
Oh, got level 2 already.
Yeah, going up the ladder, going.
Yeah, you beat Rick. So so fantastic. So hang on. So we're either on our own personal journey as electricians, or we're on a journey laid out by the customer. So smart home is what you've described to me there.
Yeah.
That could be a bit of a reach straight off the bat.
Yes. So they tend to try and start off small in terms of smart devices within properties. Okay. So that would be things like a thermostat, like a Nest or something along the lines of that, or a smart speaker. So they tend to go from level 1 to level 2 and a little bit of level 3. So level 2 is more along the lines of what we call piecemeal, where you've got a number of devices within the house, but they don't necessarily talk together. Classed as DIY. So electricians can sort of buy them, or the customers can buy them over the counter and fit them and rig them up themselves.
Okay.
So that's a Nest thermostat until the homeowner's seen the S-plan wire and junction box that
Yeah.
was put in for the electrician. That's normally the looks great in John Lewis. Open that. We did a video where we found the world's worst S-plan junction box held in with a wood screw, as it would be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's the electrician's entry point, isn't
That's the electrician's entry point in terms of smart. And lighting control, that's really where it really takes off for the electrician, because that's more electrical. So we look at things like Lutron or Rayco for lighting control.
And we've got to be looking at the people that we're servicing as customers, aren't we? So it's our customer base that's going to drive it for us as electricians. Okay,
Yeah.
so we might have a slightly older customer base, and then we think it's not going to affect us. But then I think back to my own children. So I've got a 15 and a 17-year-old, and if I asked them what a VHS video recorder is,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have a clue.
That's right.
Not a clue.
Yeah.
And they're going to buy a house, maybe, next week would be nice, but hopefully within a short period of time, within no time. So they've not even seen that old stuff.
Yeah.
They're not going to accept a house with just sockets and lights. That's not even the world they're in.
They've grown up with iPhones and voice activation with Alexas, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is one step to smart.
Yeah. But they see it as a norm.
Yeah.
A necessity.
It is a norm to them. So like you touched on, when you move into new properties, they don't get built with it nowadays. They don't get built with smart tech into them. So you've got to introduce, whether it be retrofitted or, again, over-the-counter, smart technology that goes into the house. But the next generation is familiar with it through iPads and Alexa and voice activation, things like that.
And we've got a classic example of somebody we've worked with that actually specifies to new builds. Once they've been built, he goes in and his whole business is built about taking it to the next level, isn't he?
Yeah, it's that new build, and it's an issue. It'd be interesting to know why it happens. Obviously, new build houses, most of them go up, and we're not on about the
About the individuals or like MDUs?
No, the big ones. So if you go on a Barrett Estate or a Bellway, all those volume house builders,
Ones that the big developers put together.
yeah, they typically don't do anything smart.
No.
They just, and then someone moves in who's probably of that younger generation.
That's what I'm
and
leading.
the first thing they want is, I want the smart telly on the wall. And we saw that in, let's say, we're in that house in Scotland. The telly was like, if you put it sideways in the room, it wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
It was that big. Wouldn't go in the place where the contractors thought they might have put it. The architect thought they might have wanted it in the corner on the old mahogany stand that you've probably still got.
I've still got mine, you know that. Yeah. I've got no one says
The hole for the VHS.
Yes, there is in the stand.
Is that a radiogram?
I'm not quite as old as Gordon. Yeah, okay. However much he tries to make out, please get your ages in.
Well, his business is going on. He go in those houses. The first thing now everyone wants a media will look great on social media, don't they? You've got your television and possibly.
How can you have a
some
brand new
shelving.
house without one? So that's what I mean. That's the grasp.
So volume builders don't tend to, because they can't make a return on it.
Okay.
Speaking to volume builders, that's really, I think, their honest answer. Most of them won't even put the basic minimum of Cat5 cable in, which you really shouldn't use Cat5 cable.
And the same for me is for Cat5 cable, is you should only use it to hold your trousers up.
That's the one.
You should be using Cat6
Cat6, absolutely,
and you
yes.
can take that one off me anytime you like, John.
Absolutely,
and keep
yeah.
it for yourself.
I will do, yeah.
The developers are wising up, though.
They are,
This industry, when I say this industry, the smart home industry, are talking to a lot of the developers. And it's in their interest to install this smart home stuff because they're going to sell their property or their bunch of 10 flats over the next 10 flats down the road.
Yeah. One of the problems is you don't know who you're selling your property to. So you don't know whether you're selling it to a younger person or an older generation. Yeah. So if the property is, say, £250,000 and you put a whole load of home technology in it, it doesn't make it £275,000.
To certain people.
To certain people. Okay. So some people don't see the value in it. So, and again, if something goes wrong with it, who does the house buyer go back to? Do they go back to the volume builder? Do they go back to the person that put it in? So there's a whole load of negatives involved with volume builders. Where it comes to individual property developers that are building the high net worth properties, the detached properties, that tends to be where we get involved more through the electrical contractor because they have already a relationship with the builder or the client or the architect.
But that's also an opportunity, isn't it? Because the fact the volume builders don't put it in, as soon as someone moves into the house, they'll want to do things.
Yes.
And that's, say the guy we work with, it's Colin Mulvaney up in Scotland, look at his social media, he goes in and blitzes a new housing estate. They've all got soffit lights in by the time he's finished. Television, puts it on social media, it looks great, someone says, I want one of them.
Yeah.
So what would be your, can you say what your average install, AV install would be, for example, smart home install?
Yep.
Well,
in terms of cost?
Yes.
It's difficult to do an average, but I would say between 40 and 50,000. If you for a smart home,
I think
so that's including.
I think that's Middle England.
So that's lighting, home control through a sort of central processor that's taking everything in. So that's music, the speakers, maybe a bit of a media room. You know, that's between 40 and 50,000.
Okay, I'd imagine some of our viewers now have hit the panic button. We said it in the title because they're thinking this is I can't do this. I can't do this. Now that's where I think your great show will help because obviously you've got the ability to walk around those stands. You've got to interact with the people that are obviously providing you with the kit, and you get their technical support as well. But you also offer technical support at Oldfields like others do as well.
Yes.
That can actually help an electrician on this journey.
Yes.
So they might have gone smart doorbell, got really comfortable with that and smart speakers, but then all of a sudden a customer they've had for a long time, okay, perhaps they want to go to the next level. They've either go to that next level or start losing customers.
Yeah.
How can you help them?
So the contractor will come into us, and like you said, they might have touched a little bit on whether it be a smart thermostat or a doorbell, something along the lines of that. So we've got through our demonstration facility lighting control, home control, multi-room audio. So we then ask them to sort of ask their clients what it is they're after. How far smart they want to go and why, to make sure that it's suitable for them. And then we help the electrician through that journey. So we will specify it for them, we will help design it for them, and we'll then help them deliver that to the client.
So when you're designing it, you're virtually telling me what cables need to go from A to B,
absolutely,
which is what the electrician loves doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm pulling these cables in, I've got them to those locations.
So we'll do a wiring schematic for them.
Brilliant. Okay. And then all of a sudden I might get to the difficult bit that I'm not quite ready for yet. I've got all the cables in, I've made off loads of my connections, but maybe I'll get to the bit maybe where the app and sort of bringing it all together. Is that support can be offered?
So we then do that for them. So we encourage them to do as much as they can in terms of the installation, right up to the point where maybe they don't feel confident or they want to learn a little bit more off the back of our own. We've got 2 in-house engineers. So we will then set up the apps or do the programs. So we offer that support for them. So they don't have to be network proficient or have to get laptops out, but they can certainly follow the installation journey through, and then we will help them hand it over and deliver it at the end. Once the job's finished and completed, we then offer the support to the client so the electrician can move on to the next project.
And you've got a fantastic, obviously, additional show area to the actual wholesaler in Oldfields in Skipton. Not everyone's got that.
Yes.
But your show's there in September, isn't it? So we could see all of this stuff in one place and spend our time going around and see the different levels as well. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. At EiLive, it's for beginners right up to people who are installing £1 million home cinemas. And if you talk to everybody, all the major distributors at EiLive, I mention this for a reason, all the major distributors and all the major manufacturers, whether they're exhibiting in their own right as a manufacturer or they're exhibiting through the distributor as a manufacturer, they all offer support. And all the distributors, because they represent the major brands, the Sonys, the LGs, and all those big people, the Electricians, they will, again, provide support and hold the electrician's hand. So a visit to our show will show them, a visit to EiLive will show them what can be done, how they can get on the first rung of the ladder, because the distributors will take their hand and lead them through it.
Yep.
There's over, last count, I think there's over 400 brands on show. 400 brands, right across, and that's everything. Everything you can think of for smart home, it's there. We've got Q-Motion with motorised shades. Yeah. You've got all the lighting people, Lutron are there. You've got the TV people. You've got the HD-based T people. That's technical, even for me. But of course, there are over 400 brands, and all of those people on those stands, whether they are the biggest stand in the show, they will sit the electrician down if they will, talk to them what could be done, take their hand through it. So there's support there. I could talk about
I mean, for me, is it?
Come to that in a minute.
That's right.
Is it? You know, for me, it is about entry points. As I say, the guy who's doing a new housing estate, he's got one aim. He wants to do television stuff, big tellies, bit of sound, might be a bit of light. Another problem, Wi-Fi is always in there. So if we go along, so will there be someone who can help with Wi-Fi networks?
100%. I won't say the majority. A lot of smart home distributors. I won't name them, but a lot of the distributors, a lot of the manufacturers are targeting electricians because that's where they see the smart home industry growing. And by default, if you've got an electrician or 50,000 of them in people's houses and they're talking about smart home, that raises the level of the industry, so it creates more awareness for the industry as a whole. But undoubtedly, there are people there that can talk to them about a nut to a TV.
I'm a seer as a believer, I am. It isn't until I actually see what can be done that I actually think, oh, right, that can be done. This can be done. Because I would imagine electricians probably a little bit like me. They haven't got a lot of time maybe to doing personal research, what's the latest new thing. But you go along to an event, and events are always those great places. Maybe there's new stuff being launched, but you walk around and you think, I didn't know that, and I think they're the moments you're thinking, so I could use that to solve this problem, and that gives me an opportunity to earn some more money.
So that's part of my role at Oldfield is really to make contractors aware of what's available to them. Yeah. We still get contractors that come through the door that don't know half the things we do are available to them. So it's really awareness is a huge key.
So they want to get into the industry, and you're their first port of call. Again, to hold a hand.
Yeah. So if they've never done lighting control, or if they're not too sure what cables to put in, if they worry about fibre because they look at, like you said earlier on, the big tent and the BT people having to terminate fibre, and they're worried that they've got to do that, they can come to us and we can help them. We can offer them support, different sorts of cable infrastructure. So we can guide them right the way through what cables to pull from point A to point B to installing and programming a basic lighting control system.
And I
think looking at the comments, people are on two camps here.
That's good. That's what we want.
There's some interest. Obviously, some people who know a lot. Pedro Smits will come back to you. You obviously know a lot because there's straight mention of KNX and EIB and all sorts of things that happen on that continent, Gary.
Okay.
And
they're platforms, of course, that get everything to talk to each other.
Yeah, but then there's the light side. There's people who worry about future-proofing, choosing the wrong things, putting the wrong cables in.
That's a key element, that's sort of what I'm there for, to help contractors try and future-proof properties. Bearing in mind some of the volume builders, they won't even put the basic coax in.
All right.
But they're never left to their own device, because they've got people like John who will take the hand and lead them through it. You've got the manufacturers, they would all help you, no matter how small you are as a company, they will help you through, and so would the distributors. So actually, if they enter this industry, the smart home industry, they're never left alone. They're never left to their own devices. There's always help at the end of the phone.
And have I misread this? As soon as there's a laptop or an iPad involved, and there's a little bit of, we used to call it a third fix, didn't we? So install the cables, install the kit, and then bring the kit alive was the third fix. We can put another X in eFIXX, so we left it with 2 for first and second fix. But that sort of, maybe wrongly, has a little bit of a whiff of a bit of extra money. You know, it's minute that iPad's out and I'm doing something with scene setting or I'm bringing audio in. That sounds like it's more money for me.
That, Gary and John, is programming the system, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, so again, there's a basic element to that with certain manufacturers. So they can get, and this is what I try and encourage, especially with certain brands, certain lighting brands, that the contractor doesn't need us. We don't have to go out and program that. They can do it themselves. Once they've then got the hang of it, they can then roll that out to their customers.
So therefore their income increases.
Yeah.
So we're talking maybe a RA2 from...
RA2 is a perfect one for that.
And I don't want to say it's entry because I've been out and seen some great jobs with our friends down in Milton Keynes when we went out with MJ Electrical. Brilliant, but again, it looked very achievable.
Yeah.
I take a feed round to the lights. I have pedestal switches that can be either in the wall or away from the wall that looks great. So all of a sudden I'm worried about all these cables by side of the beds and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And it just worked. And then he chose some different scenes. I stayed on late into the night and I thought, this is a bit of me. I could offer this out because it's just great without any hassle. And I'm now moving up the ladder without realising it.
Yeah.
That was his worry, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He didn't want the word getting out. Actually, that was easy.
Yeah, no.
Because he was like, shh, don't tell anyone about this because my competitors in the area will be
It's
doing
been a
this as well.
it's been a success for us in terms of coming together with the contractor and encouraging them and giving them the confidence to do that lighting control system.
Yeah.
And which now they do.
You're dead right as well, because I remember that now. It was like, you cannot show this.
Don't mention the training course.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was it.
That was
wasn't
the
it?
one.
We
Yeah,
could
it
show
was.
the app, couldn't we? Yeah, couldn't
Show
mention
the app,
training,
but don't
yeah.
mention the. You didn't
Yeah.
want the.
Which is fair enough. I think that's a wise thing to do. Yeah, okay. He wanted to keep it to himself because it was so simple. You know, how great's that? What a great system that Lutron brought us there. Then.
Yeah.
But then that starts adding levels in, doesn't it? So if you're comfortable with that, Lutron do hang on, I'll get it wrong. They're not blinds, Gordon, are they? What are they called? Window treatments.
Window treatments.
Yeah.
If you're
Window
jacking the price up.
Yeah,
there.
jacking the price at window treatment. So all of a sudden, maybe you're looking without realising it. You're moving yourself through the levels because you actually found the first bit really enjoyable and really easy, and you've now got a more satisfying electrical job. I think that's something we probably don't harp on about, do we? Satisfaction. So, of course, when we take an older property and rip it apart and return sockets and lights that they had beforehand and a new consumer unit, nobody cares what make it is. But what you do care about is the special things, isn't it? So maybe a bit of simple pelmet lighting in the kitchen. Didn't have that before. Look at the LED strip I've got. Well, I imagine now all of a sudden we've got a full home network in, and all of a sudden we've got some Lutron lighting controller.
Yeah.
Got a few windows that close and that. All of a sudden then you wouldn't be telling everybody you've had a rewire, would you?
No.
It's a different rewire, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll come back to that because, again, I think home networking, again, is another entry point, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a thing
that's-
people want. Everyone complains if they've got no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, just explain what home networking is to us. So
Well, home network, you've got smart devices. So
Yep.
you've got your kids at home.
Yes.
They're probably all streaming on their own devices.
They are.
Using the Wi-Fi.
100%.
Yeah, and then you go on to watch whatever rubbish you're watching at the
Yeah,
minute.
absolutely,
on telly.
thank you. Yeah.
You can't get on and watch that rubbish.
Absolutely.
You can't get on Foxy Bingo when you want to get your bets placed.
I wouldn't even know what that is, but that just shows you what your teaching, to your viewing history is like.
Well, so there's people.
It's not the channel you think it is.
No,
Gary.
I know.
So the key is, but you've got your smart TVs. You've got everyone's. I mean, I don't like it. They'll be obviously watching something streaming on the television whilst on the social network on a mobile phone. They might have an iPad next to them. 3 devices all connected up simultaneously.
Sounds like me, that does.
Yeah, repeated in a few rooms. You need those devices off Wi-Fi, don't you? And you get something off the Wi-Fi.
That's where that's where the main stumbling blocks come into majority of smart homes that are sort of moving to the next level. Having a few wireless devices, speakers, thermostats, a few bits and bobs here and there that are wireless. That's fine. It's when they start to want to stream and do multiple things in multiple rooms, gaming, things like that.
So on that bit, there's a battle still going in the comments here, because I can see it flying up here about Cat 5e cable. Yeah. So we've mentioned, you mentioned you should hold your trousers up with it because you pinched it from him earlier.
We got Nick these.
Yeah,
My
absolutely.
whole house is wired in Cat 5e.
Yeah.
I'm gutted.
Use it
what you
as-
said.
use it as fishing wire.
I've actually put some in the van to pull it in for me solar. So I'm now thinking.
So
But we're talking about a smart home from an electrician's electrical point of view.
Yep.
Don't forget, of course, it's sound and vision.
Yeah.
So it's sound. It's putting a nice pair of speakers in, wiring them in for the homeowner, putting a home cinema. So you've got whether it's a projector, whether it's a screen coming down, then they've kind of got a home cinema. linked to speakers. So that's the AV side of smart home, but it's not electrical because it's low voltage.
Go a little bit more into the screens for us, because obviously you've got the massive insight on this stuff, and this is where coming to a show and walking around and seeing it. Now, I'd think screen, I'd think back in the days when my dad had a slide projector and we'd have the screen out. You can laugh, nobody else
With
knows
the
what
little
I'm
slides and the slide deck.
and he goes round, yeah, absolutely. I think it went round that way, okay. So we're going in and out, and the quality wasn't great. So I'm thinking, so what sort of quality can we get off a pull-down screen, and a projector saves everybody a load of room, especially in a new house, because they're in a lot of room. So what sort of quality will that give me?
If you, and you'll back me up on this, if you want to go the projector and screen route, well, of course, the screen can be unobtrusive because it rolls up into the ceiling. So you press a button, the screen comes down, and then you put your
Not a string on it, like you pull it down like you're at school. No, there's a button. Okay, I press the button, I lock it.
And you've got the projector, and an entry-level projector. They're going to probably kill me. Well, I won't mention names, but you can get an entry-level projector for $5 or $6 grand. And what you show on,
or even slightly cheaper.
Is that too expensive, guys?
There's a few that are
a lot cheaper,
a little bit lower than that, yeah, entry level.
You have flat screens, and clearly, and Sony have. I think they've now got 107-inch flat screen. 120. Do you want 107 inch? Some people do, but you can get the clarity and the quality from the projector and a screen. Because the screen technology now, it's not just a bit of sheet comes down.
It's moved on.
It's a purpose-made screen that's quite well put together, very, very well. And the technology in screens is amazing. So you can get the quality as you would on a HD TV.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is, and just to say this to electricians, all of the distributors in the business, if they look through the magazine, or some of them, the AWEs, the Envisions, and those kind of people, they've all got showrooms.
Yeah.
You can go along, no cost, sit in their cinema room, and they will demonstrate to you. They'll talk to you about the lens throw. It's a bit technical for me, but they'll talk to you about the way the thing works. But you can actually experience the quality of these cinema rooms.
Well, you've done that. Gary's going to forgo the $6 grand and just go along to his local, treat the family to a day out with a bag of popcorn to his local AV distributor.
I was just thinking, is your wallet too tight for your 50s and your diamond encrusted shoes are killing your feet? It was like, it's only $6 grand. You sound like that's Steve Jobs. He used to say, didn't he, I've brought out this new phone, it's only 4 times dearer than everyone else's. It's like, yeah. Okay, yeah. So
that's why I asked you what an average install was.
Can you get me back in the projector market for myself? How much Oldfields? Matty Boy's got a bit of Gary discount in there?
Right, so I say a projector or a media room or a home cinema, they're slightly two different things. Because a proper home cinema, you know, they can go up to 80, 90, 100,000 and beyond, and there's some really big companies out there that will do a full-on home cinema for you.
How much did you say?
Up to 90,000 and beyond.
Well.
But then we've got like media rooms.
I've built an IMAX.
So then you've got media rooms, which tend to be rooms where families are coming together to watch streaming services, and they want something just a little bit better than the television.
It's normally the sound, isn't it?
Yeah. So they want that surround sound, but they've got a big TV in the kitchen diner anyway. So they want a media room. So that's where you've got your big screen, your surround sound, and your projector.
Surround sound with Dolby Atmos.
Yeah. Media rooms are like cars. You can have a car at £6,000 and you can have a car at £56,000 and everything in between. But if you were to say what's the sort of a good value point for a complete cinema package, I would say a good starting point for something that's worth talking about is around about 10,000. That's all in. That's the speakers, the amplifier, the screen, the projector, probably a little bit of home control to make it all work together, and the installation.
And that seems achievable to me.
But I'll go, well, you know, I'll put one. I don't care about the price. Yeah.
Oh, don't.
Calm down.
Meanwhile, back at your wallet.
No.
Gary didn't want an entry-level projector a minute ago.
No. But you've got a customer. You've done the electrical work for years, Gary.
Yes.
They've come into a bit of money.
Okay, brilliant.
Splash a bit on the house.
Yeah.
You're going to supply that 50 grand cinema room.
Yep.
How much money is Gary going to make? That's the question.
The margin on it.
Yeah. It just depends because you're our customer. It's difficult because we are selling it through you to the end user.
But the rule is, isn't it? We've said this on all the kit, and that's why we love our electrical industry. Everything's going electrical, so the kit's dearer. and the margins are bigger. When you're fitting white plastic sockets at £3, there is no margin.
No.
When you're fitting something at 10 grand plus,
Yeah.
they'd be embarrassed if you weren't making a packet out of that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Compared to a socket outlet.
If you put 10% on a £500 projector or 10% on a £5,000 projector, you're going to make you more money on your £5,000 projector.
Absolutely, yeah. And that, again, that's an opportunity. I'm sure the savvy electricians that are especially in the comments understand that because they do it on the margins and the rest of it. But the kit's getting dearer.
Yeah.
And am I right in thinking the work feels a little bit cleaner? So whether it is a little bit cleaner, obviously you've still got to pull cables in and the rest of it, but it's got that sort of air of, yeah, this is sort of, I'm giving people not lights and sockets, I'm giving them sound, I'm giving them vision, I'm giving them an experience.
Yeah, that tends to be what it is. It's to do with an experience for your client.
Yeah.
And that's what you're offering them in terms of a smart home, which includes the media as well. Yeah. When I say the media, that's like distributed video and audio.
Yeah.
So you're going to need, Gary, 2 sets of shoes. Yeah. There's your first fix shoes, you might need three. There's your second fix shoes, and there's your galoshes.
With your gloves, if you're
with your white glove service to put the telly up on the wall.
It looks like a magician's turned up for your third fix.
You're not doing a mime artist.
But it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, and when you know, there's some people and good friends of the show as well. There's people like our good friend Rich Heppel and the rest of it that does a great social media thing. But now we're just unpacking really what his life looks like, haven't we? He does show you elements of it, but it's how great would it be to hand over even a £10,000 cinema room to someone? Yeah. And what sort of client are you going to have then for the rest of your life? Compared to somebody maybe where you've chased every single wall out and left them with sockets and lights.
And it gives the electrician the confidence as well. So if they move on to the next job and the customer says, well, do you do anything with media rooms or big screen TVs or projector? They don't shy away from it. They'll say, yeah, absolutely. Not only can we help them deliver it, but they've got that little bit of confidence that they can carry it through themselves.
There's also, we talked about this earlier, there's also regular money to be made by agreeing an SLR, service level agreement. So you don't use the word contract, you use the word plan.
Yeah.
But you tie that plan up, the homeowner, I think, is happy to subscribe to that
more often than not,
on a monthly basis. Yeah. Because they know that they can pick up the phone to whoever they're subscribing to and they'll come over and fix their TV or their sound system or whatever. Yeah. So there's more money to be had from that point of view.
Yeah, there's always a revenue to be made. Yeah. Yes, they are, yeah.
And on a really low level, if you have a broken socket at home, you get round to it. If your Wi-Fi breaks, you've got milliseconds to sort it out.
Well, I did that in 6 minutes. Call me, I'll come and wire it up for you.
You beat Rick.
So Wi-Fi is probably one of the big, network is one of the biggest things in a house now. It's, it's like the fourth utility. It's over and above water, over and above heating.
We've said it in our house.
Yeah, there's no Wi-Fi.
I'll revisit the Cat 5 issue because it's still bubbling up in the comments. And I'm with Sergio Fernandez on this.
What's this? My house is all Cat 5. I'm devastated.
I can remember when computer networks were put in with coax and BNC connectors.
I bet the coax kid here can as well.
So one of the things on Cat cable, and again, it's down to education, there are probably certain things that you can get away with using Cat 5 for. However, like I said before, you then end up with a contractor with a multitude of different Cat cables. And sometimes the wrong Cat cable may go in for the wrong application. So as a rule of thumb, we simply just say put Cat 6A in for everything. So if you're doing video distribution, if you're doing touchscreen control, anything that requires a network cable, wireless access points, just put Cat 6 in. The likelihood is you're not going to go wrong.
Yeah.
It's only times if you're using like a control cable, contact closures or low voltage or through like Rayco or lighting keypads, you can pretty much get away with Cat 5. But other than
probably Cat 5 that's not actually being used for a network as such, is it?
I wouldn't use it. With what's coming into the properties now in terms of bandwidth and data, you want to be putting Cat 6 in as a bare minimum.
Well, I can tell you, I made that mistake 10 years ago.
What did you put in then?
Cat 5. It had an E after it though, Gary, so it sounded better than the Cat 5 without the E.
You told me to put Cat 5 in mine.
Yeah, it's because you got the Cat 6 and it was too big and you couldn't put the connectors on it.
No, I couldn't.
Now you're streaming 4K, high-res audio, all the different things that come into your house. You can't sort of send that down a 10 to 15-year-old cable. It's like
only been in 2 years. So
all right, okay. It's like running your range oven on a 3-core flex.
And I just want to say, for clarity for people who were listening to that bit, that John actually said Cat 5 because it sounded like cack. Okay, 5. Okay, it's not still banging on the drum. It's Cat 5. Okay.
Yeah. And then also you mentioned stepping up to fibre.
Yes.
Where would I need fibre in a property?
So again, fibre, you can get pre-made fibre cables now. We tend to use them for projectors. so HD fibre cables. But if you've got long runs, or if you're intending on sending heavy data over distances, so if you've got a property with an outbuilding or a driveway gate that's a long distance away, 95 metres or above, they say 100, but if I say 95, you can then run fibre, and whatever you've got at the end of that fibre, it's the same network as at the beginning, really.
Right, so if you've got a long drive,
Yeah.
you want a video entry system down
Yeah,
there,
I'd always
down
recommend
there.
put the fibre cable in. Yeah, there's some custom integrators out there that run fibre to all the rooms in terms of future-proof with what's coming. So it might not be terminated in use now, but in the later years,
Upsold on the future-proof
they've
advantage.
upsold massively.
Future-proof mine, put Cat 5 in.
Well,
I
yeah,
was in the comments, I'm with you.
yeah, you'd be better off with shoelaces.
Yeah.
Next door, yeah, straight
And
to
yeah, we can tell the electricians, when we mention low voltage, David, we're extra low voltage, is what we say.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
low
Okay.
voltage is anything under 1500 DC.
DC, yeah, 50, yeah, 150 to 1500
Yeah,
DC.
there you go.
Yeah, 50.
Thanks for that, Eddie.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Eddie's
Another industry standard.
He's
We're
on
gonna
next
come
week.
back.
Yeah, he's on next
We're going
time.
to come back to train a little bit. Just a little word from our friends at Green Cable. Rick, who ended up sweeping up today? Let's just remember. We love to recycle here. Oh, there's David. He's doing the recycling today because obviously out of our two competitors, he came second. But he is the second fastest publisher on the board. So there you go. So if you're not using Green Cable,
Two.
yep.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
That's two. That's it.
Quicker than Rick, that's the main thing.
Yeah, Green Cable, there's a link in the description that, you know, if you're an electrician, they drop a bin off, and this is good even for anyone, you should try and get them to your show actually, because all those people, all those leftovers of cables and all those ones the previous electrician left in the house, you bung them in the bin, they come around and pick it up and pay you some cash into your bank account that day.
The day they pick it up.
Wow.
So from your point of view, all you're doing, instead of bringing it home and wondering what you're going to have to do with it, you bring it home, put it in the bin. It's easy.
Yeah.
And we like that. We like things that make life easier for electricians. But a lot of Cat 5 cable in it, couldn't you? All the stuff that you had in the house that you owned,
Yeah.
as you're dragging it back out.
And obviously we're double dipping on ours because Doncaster Cable supply the cable for the challenge wall, and you guys have just put it in the Green Cable bin, and they'll come and collect that soon. And we'll have a night out.
Yeah. Did we all hear that? The rest of the team? The rest of the team, we're all going to have a night out on that? Yeah.
Green Cable.
Yeah.
Get some more scrap in there.
Oh, I'll come
about
out and
50
sweep it up for you.
50.
Right, now we're going to cut across now to all what you've been waiting for. That is obviously the challenge between Rick and Gary while we compose our thoughts. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about training in this industry because all the stuff you sound really excited. There's great comments coming in from people. Clearly, some people know lots and other people don't know so much. But it sounds like a great opportunity for people. Jamie Blayton's just wandered in there. Yeah, so there you go.
It's come for the race.
It's all about training. He's come for the race, but I think it is, as in most industries, all about a gap in training.
It is, yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about that. Some of the other stuff we can find down at EiLive, and obviously Gary's going to be taking difficult questions down there.
Yep.
I think we're going to cut across to Rick's Tool Time.
Rick's Tool Time Special.
Hello and welcome to Rick's Tool Time. This week there's going to be a little bit of a special. Talking of specials, well then guys, how are you?
Terrific segue that was. I've picked up your hammer, but I've got a funny feeling you're not going to need it today, are you?
No, I'm going to stick with this, I think. I'm going to go with the Viperclip because we're going to have a little bit of a race.
Okay, so is that why we've got the Doncaster cables out and
is.
a bit of 2.5 twin and CPC cable?
Yep.
Often called on site incorrectly twin and earth. Okay, so when you say race, I'm a little bit concerned. I've got half a box of clips here, and by the time I've knocked them off, maybe a pair of steps and all the rest of them, picked them up, and you've got your clips here in a wonderful little strip.
That's it, yeah. So I just take that out of there. Should be able to load them in.
Okay.
There's none on the floor, there's none in my mouth.
Okay, and you're going to be ready to go. So you're going to be using the 20-volt battery power within the Viperclip in order to put your twin and earth cable clips in, and your finger. Okay, and I'm going to be using a bit of traditional brute force. I always find when I'm doing things like this, you need three hands. I would imagine you're going to.
No, should be good with the two that I've got. You know, one for just holding the cable, and maybe another one for firing in, clipping.
Okay.
Just hang on, just pass me that hammer a minute.
Yeah, see if we get some of those one time. Okay, so we're going old school, which I tend to do, and I've done these races before with Joe. So I take the traditional method and I use brute force and try and win those races. And then you look like you got a little bit of new technology. I noticed we've gone, and I've seen these before. I think it was on Dragon's Den. So we've also got one here that has a metal strap between the two nails that hold this clip in.
We have, yes.
Okay, so we're not worried about premature collapsing on this one.
No, they've got us covered there. There's like you say, there's another clip with the strap across there. So if we want to get them in an area to hold them up, just in case there is a fire.
Okay, so I've got my plastic clips and we're going to take it on. How far is this clipping run that we're going to do?
The clipping run is about 1.5 meters, possibly 2 meters, and the space in between them is roughly 200 mil.
Okay, so you've set out the space, so I know exactly where I've got to clip. So there's
And we've
no
got it
one at each end.
We've got it all lined up, so you know where to clip because we've got it all marked up there.
Okay, so I think I'm pretty ready for this. I'm going to take on new technology. I haven't had much success recently, but I haven't raced you before, and it's quite refreshing for me to find somebody of a similar build to myself. So I don't think well, I mean, maybe round rather than up. But the athletic ability of this is going to be pretty even keel, is it?
Well, if it's athleticism you're after, I'm your man.
Okay, whatever athleticism is. So shall we get on with this race? And I'm going to win this one, I reckon.
Let's go.
Okay, so we're away and Gary is up first. Oh, he's dropped a clip already. Not the best start. Let's see if he can improve as the race goes on. So he goes for the first clip. Quick hands for someone who's been off the tools for so long. Maybe he'll finally attempt the Electricians challenge, depending on how he does today, of course. First one hammered in, good start. Now he's moving on to the second clip. 12 clips in this race today. Any more and I imagine they'll both need a tea break. Okay, 2 clips down, not bad. But now he's started to eat the clips. I suppose it was only a matter of time. Now Gary, I would not put a clip there. I'll show myself the door. Okay, that was a bit unlucky. 35 seconds in, and we've only done 2 clips. That Electrician's challenge attempt is looking more distant by the second. And he's back in the thick of things, nearly halfway through now. Let's hope the second half goes a bit quicker, or else I can't see the eFIXX team finishing for Christmas this year. Looks like he's starting to quicken things up a bit. Keep hammering away there, Gary. There seems to be a heavy rivalry between these two, brought on by a battle over who gets the last biscuit in the tin. Could this be what's spurring Gary onto the finish line?
No, I'm a bit of a... I see Rick's give me the right one with the knot in it, but I suppose it saved me 1 clip. You forget how you need 3 hands though, don't you? So, I want to make sure you're reloaded and ready to go.
After a quick spot of lunch, Gary was now ready to take on the last 5 nails in the race. Let's see if we can still hear what Gary has to say over a mouthful of clips.
For those who don't speak manful of clips, I'm nearly finished.
Not sure about you, but I didn't get a word of that. Nearly there, Gary.
I probably would have been better off hitting 1 clip at the end and going through, but I wanted to get it reasonably flat.
Last one now. Nearly there, Gary. Then you can have all the biscuits you want.
Last one, I think so.
A very respectable time of 1 minute 51.55 seconds from Gary there. But now it's Vic's turn. Can his Viperclip beat Gary's hammer? He starts by picking up the tool along with a row of 20 clips, loading them into the chamber, and he's good to go. Straight onto the joist. As easy as that. Now Vic's done the first clip. The good thing about this tool is that you can line it up with previously done clips, so you get the same distance between them every time. Vic is looking very quick here. Gary must be quivering in the background. Despite going at such a pace, this must be the longest that Vic has gone without eating in some time. And that's the 6th clip done, halfway there. Vic doesn't have to worry about Gary's problem of needing 3 hands. He simply pulls the cable into position with 1 hand and clips the cable using the tool with the other. Vic's on to his last 3 clips now. I'm sure he'll be over the moon with his time. I'm not too sure about Gary though. Final clip, and there we have it across the line with a time of 50.28 seconds.
Now then, Gaz, the results are in.
Ooh, okay.
How do you feel like you've done?
Yeah, I did alright. I would suggest if it had been a longer clipping race than that, I think I would have probably slowed down a lot due to the fact that I'm probably not in the shape I once was. Okay, yeah. But I'm pretty confident with such a short run that I'm going to perhaps be quite close to the winning time.
Right. Well, do you want to read that one out then?
Yeah, 1 minute and 51.
And is that it?
Well, yeah, 1 minute 51.
All right, so if Usain Bolt did this race and he got 9 seconds and 50 odd, he would have just said, I did it in 9 seconds.
Yeah, they always round down in the 100 metres, I find. So if you want to be absolutely precise, okay, we'll put it in 1 minute 51.55 seconds, or as we like to call it round here, a win to Gaz.
Unfortunately not, no.
Okay.
I got it in 50.28 seconds.
Okay, and that worries me because That's a minute quicker if we're doing Gary's maths. Okay, do you like that one? Yeah, so you're a minute quicker. Now, if that had been a full joist down a wall through, I would have got slower and slower, and so your time would just increase and increase and increase.
So that's it. And you'd have been getting fuller and fuller and fuller with the amount of clips that you had in your gob.
Yeah, I've said many times I've got to stop chewing my nails. Okay, especially when I was on site. I think it was fantastic. It just shows you again, even the processes that we take for granted as electricians, which is clipping cables. I'm a bit of a clip freak as well. I do like it to be neat. Taught for 19 years about dressing cables beautifully neat. But with that one, you can use that same drag technique. I know you were racing, but use that same drag technique and you can get a beautifully clipped cable using the Viperclip, can't you?
I can, yeah. And I didn't skip any clips either.
Oh, right. Okay. We have to mention, I'd like to suggest, and I tried to say in there, you put me on a knot. I hit that knot and I pushed it through. So I did attempt to put that clip in. So that must count as one going in. Yeah, you gave yourself the nice softer bit of wood. That's what it was, wasn't it? Yeah, you had a softer bit of wood. That's why I come second in this race. Yeah. However, okay, we mentioned dragons then earlier on. I said, I think I'm in. I'm in for that. Are you in or are you out?
Well, I'm definitely in. I'm faster.
Okay, so as this is a Rick's Tool Time, shall we ask for people to comment whether they're in and like the Viperclip or they're out?
That's it. So do we think it's great or do we think it's a gimmick? Get your votes in and let me know. Ta-da.
I want to do that bit. Ta-da.
And a gym for you then, Gary.
Extreme time special.
A few comments about your technique there, Gary. So,
Yeah, I know.
you need a pouch.
I know. Yeah, we only got the kit we got here, so I was going to put it on top. Yeah, but of course, the minute you hit it would have vibrated and gone on the floor. And I've done well not to knock them off. I put on them step ladders. I thought I'm going to do the old handout for the clips. And it just shows you, doesn't it? One clip at each end, and you're going to go in between. But it just shows you do need 3 hands to do clipping until you get that Viperclip in your hand. And because the clips are designed, they're plastic with 2 obviously metal nails. They're designed for the size of cable. You haven't got any problem with them flapping around or anything. And you can make them look like they are cables, like when you clip them perfectly with this traditional plastic clip. And like I said, they've got that metal brace as well. And we saw that, didn't we? I put a fire clip in there. We'd set fire to them in a short video. We haven't released yet, haven't we?
No, we haven't. No.
Yeah, so we
finished it. There's a long review, a full review of the tool coming out soon.
Yeah, we broke into little sections and we've done 2 shorts. We did the race, and I'll take a closer look at the piece of kit and show you how it's actually different than you think, because there's a gully in it that allows you to run down the cable without having to take it off. So they've designed a groove in it as well. So that's it's interesting. And I'd love your comments on that one. So it's going to come down in a minute. So we're nearly out of time. Are people doing in or out? Or are they doing great or gimmick?
They're doing great or gimmick.
Yeah, I tried, didn't I?
It's middle of the road now. Obviously, people want to know the price. I don't think we know the price yet, do we?
No, I think we're part of the official launch, aren't we? Yeah. So
test program.
Absolutely. They're on tonight. Hopefully, they're in the comments. Hopefully, if they're in the comments, hopefully Julie will be in there helping you out on that tool as well.
Yeah, it looks useful if you're clipping the Humber bridge. So
well,
that could be a nice challenge. That one actually, Gary. We'll start you off with the clips and off your trot.
Yeah, we'll see at the end.
I'll pay the toll for you.
Yeah, so I think Rick got his own back there. I got ahead with the times. I think I've had a little look. Maybe he didn't quite beat Rick, but we're going with it. We're still going to lean into that because he only just beat me. But it just shows you, if he'd have done 4 metres, I don't think there would have been a 60-second gap. I think the longer we go, the bigger the gap is.
So you had a recount?
Yeah, we had a recount. Yeah. So it's good. So we're going to bring it down.
Twice in 1 week you've been seen doing some work.
I know, badly as well.
Yeah,
absolutely badly. Yeah, just my days are over, folks.
Obviously, some people still like a hammer because you can use it for more than one thing.
I like a hammer because you can create something with it. Okay, you can build something with a hammer, or you can take that hammer and you can destroy something. And that's another one of my favourite sayings. From Mr. Mauritius.
Well, Rick destroyed you there, Gary.
I know he did.
So there we go. Right, time to bring the tool from above.
I need some help. And as you won the race, we're going to go a winner and a loser.
Right, okay.
So you have to get down on your hands and knees with those lovely brands. We're going to look up at the tool, so try and get so you can see on the telly as well. So down we go.
Right.
I saw
it. Make work for it, though.
Saw it again there.
Thank you.
Solar panel.
Solar panel. We're not going with sunroof. We're going with solar panel.
It certainly isn't renewable, though, is it?
No, it's not.
Coming back, is it?
No, I'd have to spray it on.
Okay, so here we go then. So you go first.
So do I have to give it my best Scottish or like an owl?
It's tool.
Like an owl then. Tool. Tool. We've gone for the best Scottish.
Yeah, okay, well, it didn't move, so I'll help you out this time.
With the owl.
Yeah, here we go then. So here I go. I'll get a little closer for it so we can get in there. So we're going for
tool. Tool. Tool.
What?
Tool.
Dull.
Tool.
Dull. We're on side now.
Down you come.
Down you come. Right, here we go. Do you want to take it out for us, John?
Go
Okay,
on.
we've got a board and we've got the tool itself, so I'll take that away. You hold on to the board, grab a seat for a second.
Okay.
Maybe David will just take it back up for us.
I could staple a piece to the back of my head with that.
Yeah, okay. The follicles have been removed to replace the solar panels. Okay, so there's a tool. So, non-electrician, just have a little feel of that. So feel how it feels in your hand. Okay, so we've got that sort of. Won't work, that's good. It's got a safety feature, you can't fire it at Gordon. I like it straight away. Does the trigger work? Does it? Yeah, okay. So there we have it. Yeah, okay. Very, very lightweight for me. Okay, so you could use that all day long. And again, that's something, maybe I'm done until we get to the actual full review. Swinging a hammer all day long, yeah, that's quite a bit of effort, isn't it? So we all like to use power tools. We're moving away from screwdrivers. We certainly don't use a brace and bit anymore, do we, to drill? Well, you might do. Yeah. New technology to you. When I mentioned VHS video, it's the one that supersedes your Betamax, if you want to know what it is. So it's similar to yours, but a little bit bigger in the cassette region.
It runs on Cat 5.
Yeah. Because it's no good for anything other than holding your trousers.
He used to make silent movies with his cine film.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I think our good friends. Yeah, so there it is. So holds, strips come in 20. Clips do, you can get slightly more than 20 in, so if you're slightly short, it comes up and shows you you're short. Put your next 20 in and off you go. So I like it. So clips are for 115, 25 and a 4 and 6, okay? And they do the metallic ones as well, as we proved with the fire rating one. So comments are coming in.
And I said, yeah, well, everyone would like to see, yeah, looks good. It looks a bit more compact than the other versions that are out there.
Again, let's mention that because this will come up in the thing. There are other ways of holding cables on, there always is. Okay, you could put a bit of band round, you put a screw in it, and all the rest of it. I've got no issues with that. The only issue is depending on the person fixing the cables to the fabric of the building, think about design. And with this clip, I can fit the cable designed for the clip. 115, 25, 4 and 6. If I had a clip that was bigger and more universal, maybe a large clip, and I designed maybe a 6mm cable for, I don't know, EV charger, something like that's going to be on for 10 hours, and then all of a sudden I think I can get another couple of cables with it to clip it, have I taken that into design for grouping? Because the person clipping the cable might not be the technical one in the team, it might be a different level of person, and all of a sudden then I've allowed extra grouping that I've actually gone for reference method C clip direct. So that's just one to put into your mind. I'll lay that seed in the review as well, that having a cable that only can clip the cable it's designed to clip takes away a lot of things, but it takes away the technical aspect as well.
And it's invented in the UK.
We love that, don't we?
That's a one. We like to see innovation suited for our market. I'm sure you could get a couple of coaxes under there for a chat.
Absolutely.
Install as well. You don't only need 2 clips per
I'll just
install.
let you into a little early secret. Yes, they are doing them for round cables as well.
All right, Ed, someone asked that in the comments.
Yeah. So that is coming. Again, it's brilliant, isn't it? It's a husband and wife. Hopefully they're in. Hopefully Julie's in the comments. Hopefully she's going to pick those up.
Which is probably better over the stapled ones, actually. That's the one thing I spotted on the stapled ones. Going back to, we're not going to open up the Cat 5 thing.
No, but yeah.
I will.
But it can pinch it.
It can pinch it and squash the cable.
Absolutely, break the cores as well.
And we know from the comments on our videos, there's bands of aggressive commenter. Yeah, there's electrical commenters, that's fine. Electricians shouldn't do data cables. That's absolutely. And they're sort of pretty militant, the old data installers who think we'll come on to data installers in a bit, David. And then, obviously, they're not as bad as the soldering people. Yeah, but data. As soon as data people see electricians doing data, the comments rain, we should be doing data.
And also,
squashing the cables is one of those things.
Yeah, by design you can't with that. So you can only get it in exactly right. Whereas with a different method of holding them, you can go way more aggressive and start kinking the cables. And it goes back to sometimes for me the type of person in the electrical team that might be doing a first fix. I'm trying to be careful here that I'm not downgrading anyone, but it might be somebody earlier on in their training, it might be somebody earlier on in their abilities that do the clipping.
Or an idiot.
Yeah, I didn't say Wow. The first time ever. Well, no, I didn't say that.
Oh, you were dancing around.
I wasn't dancing around. I was just saying it might be somebody on site that's employed to be an electrical labourer then. I just don't like that word. No. I don't like electrical labourer. I think if you're involved, you're involved. Coax engineer, I can imagine
It's not a title.
Yeah.
Smart home technician.
Smart home technician. We'll come back to that.
So the ultimate decision's down to you, John. So I'll explain the cool wall, Yeah, no,
Yeah.
tool wall. So we did that earlier.
Okay.
This is the tool wall.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's 11, okay, it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Top right-hand corner. Okay, where's that coffee machine? You're having a giraffe. I didn't even see that from earlier on. If it's the coffee machine from Makita, which takes an entire battery not to make 2 drinks, it can go right down there, which
right,
is like,
okay.
that's
Right.
sub-zero, yeah, in a different way, yeah. 11's up there. This is your sort of 6, 7s and 8s, and then we move across to the corner here.
Yep.
Okay, no electrical background, okay,
No.
but you work in electrical
With
wholesaler.
cable, yep.
So there's a little bit of you. So it's up to you where you want to put it. Is there any magnets on the back, Rick? No. Okay, so we're going to try. I perhaps can clip it with the Viperclip to the wall. So, where would you like to put it?
I'm going to say a 7.
7. Do you want me to do it for you? Just
You can do, yeah,
I'll wedge it
absolutely.
under
Try and
something.
sit above those cutters there again.
These sort of here.
Yeah.
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 I'm gonna sort of do that. Why?
I think when it does a multitude of cables,
Yeah.
I think it can move up, but until then,
Rick.
You can do coax, you're in.
when
It's going now. It's going now.
when it can do twin Cat 6 cable,
Yeah. Yeah. Shotgun.
shotgun, or even shotgun cable, yeah, satellite cable, which again is going to be a thing
So
of the past.
the Cat 6 is like braces, is it? Where your belt's made of a Cat 5?
Well, that's it. We've
Like
got
all
a
houses
whole
riding Cat
uniform going on there.
Okay, that's it. We've done it. Yeah, so I'll leave it out. So any questions towards the end, we'll try and take those on them if Julie's not in the comments.
That's good.
Yeah, I like it. I was useless. But I'm a neat freak.
At least you're honest, Gary.
I'm a neat freak. Well, you're brutally honest with people in the industry, you are. Can't wait for somebody of that realm to come up, speak to you at a show.
Well, they'll usually do. So.
Okay, so where now?
Well, that brings up the thing of training. You said it. You said it. Some people could probably do with better training.
Yes.
Yeah. There's loads of people obviously very interested in this market. We're shooting things out there. They've probably done a bit themselves in their own home. How do you get into it? You know, how do you get in? And the one, just start with that data cable, and you look online, say data cabling course, and you'd end up on a course that would equip you to do a data center.
Yeah,
And it's sort of, I think there's a sort of gap. Nobody's doing data cabling for
smart homes.
smart homes,
No.
and that seems to be pretty important.
The only thing I would say about training is, again, sorry to sound repetitive, but all the distributors and manufacturers in the smart home industry in this country all run training schemes.
If you're a customer,
training
though,
days.
it is if you're a customer more
I'm
often.
not sure, because Snap One are doing it now, and they're actually they're inviting non-Control 4 account holders.
Right, okay.
in. Now, the idea of that is they want to turn them into a Control 4 account holder. But it means they're not restricted going to the training session because they're not signed up to be a Control 4 dealer.
They do tend to teach them on their own products, though, rather than across the board, where I think you sort of do need a wide array of information and knowledge rather than individual product based.
But then you're back to, on that basis, you're back to CEDIA.
Yeah.
CEDIA do some great training courses.
Yeah, so CEDIA, which is like the governing body, for want of a better word, over the smart home industry, that would be your first port of call, really. They've just started, I think you said, doing an apprenticeship scheme. At the minute, I think it's...
They're going into schools and
yeah, I think it's
now.
a bit more online. But currently, if you're a contractor and you came down to Oldfields and we weren't there, there's nowhere where you can learn this.
Right.
And that's the problem we've got in the industry at the minute. There's nowhere where you can learn how to do basic networking, not where you can go to a one-to-one class, where they teach you the fundamentals of the networking, not product, not use our wireless access point or our network switch or anything like that, because that doesn't really help us when you come across another brand. What they need to teach is the fundamentals, and at the minute, not very many people do that. It's self-taught, it's online, it's Googling it.
And then, so with self-taught, the support, you offer the support, you said obviously the brands offer the support, so you're having to sort of half go yourself, half get some support maybe from your local wholesaler or equivalency, and then the brand itself, sort of pick your own training, but it's not ideal, is it? We'll agree with that.
You can get an account with one of the big distributors. Like you said, they do have internal training. Some of them do very, very good generic internal training. So if you can get on with that account, then there's training to be had.
So the first port of call there really should be CEDIA, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because
Try and get into go to the shows.
They do generic case, and you don't have to be a member they'd like it to be. But you don't have to be a member to
they have
CEDIA in their training courses.
Online training sort of tutorials that you can watch. You can sign up for if you want to, and then they've got like a little bit of exams that you can do at the end. And then from there, you can then follow it on through.
But again, I see it the opposite way around sometimes. If it's a little bit more difficult to get what you need as training, and you're the sort of person that goes out and gets it, that means you've opened up the opportunity that other people go, oh, it's too much hassle. I would have done it, but I just couldn't get on a course at my local college. You know, it's 2 foot from my house, and I could have just turned up there once, and I could have got a gold card in wiring coaxes and Cat 5s especially.
CEDIA do specific courses for electricians.
Yeah.
I work with CEDIA as an organisation because, as you say, they're the industry association. I couldn't tell you in detail, but I know they've got a course for pretty much everything.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you need the basics.
Especially electricians, because they're reaching out. They're trying to reach out and pull more electricians into the smart home business.
So are they at the show in September?
CEDIA at the show in September.
So maybe you could get in front of that and actually sort of say, look, CEDIA, we've been on the thing, it's all about training. Can you make sure that either someone's there or there's plenty of leaflets or there's a link or there's a QR code or something to take away where people can say, I picked this up and I scanned the QR code and now I found out about training.
I can, absolutely. But one of the things we talked about, and I haven't organised this, and I'm announcing it now really on live social.
We're in.
But one of the things we were talking about doing, in fact, the distributors and manufacturers came to me and said, can we do this at your show? And basically, we invite electricians to come in. We would appoint, let's say, an industry expert to take those group of people and meet all the major manufacturers, obviously what they can do in a day, or whether they're there 2 days, but to meet all the major manufacturers, not to talk about product, because they can do that on this stand. Yeah. But it's to sit in front of, say, do you know Jason Girardier of...
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, to sit and talk to Jason, where he will talk to them about the industry. I'm not actually selling you a control A, B, C, D, or whatever.
That's right,
I'm actually talking about the industry. Now, we can set up... I know that we can get a dozen major distributors and manufacturers around that show that will want to receive electricians. So if anybody wants to contact me from an electrician point of view, we can put that into play.
And that's something I've been saying on all the shows that have been leading up to this, is to come down to Farnborough in September. And I said, I've got my 2 slots where I'm on stage. The rest of the time, you can drag me around that show and I can help ask the questions. I can see what you're interested in and all the rest of it. Well, that links in nicely there with what you've done. So all of a sudden then they could come to me and say, I'm really interested, Gary, but I need some more training. I'm really interested, I'm looking at this. And we can have that journey together. And I've promised that to people.
It sounds like a good day out, because obviously we've got 2 electricians there who are on that smart home journey. Craig's on tonight. I can see him in there. We call him #secret millionaire. Yeah, he's a millionaire masquerading as an electrician.
He's got 100,000 pounds in my room, and
he sold a few of them in his time.
Yeah.
But he's been on that journey, hasn't he?
Yes.
He obviously came from a telecoms background.
Yeah.
So he's a man who's used to stapling cables around door frames.
See, the other thing about learning and training, again, if you come to EiLive in September, we have a technical theatre. And it's precisely that. It's a technical theatre. It's a huge structure built in the show. And we tie up lots of speakers. You guys are doing a couple of sessions. You're chairing a panel discussion, Gary, on smart home installer secrets.
Yep.
Now, we've had a lot of people register for that thus far, and we've still got 6 weeks to go. Obviously, you're doing another one on day 2, which is wireless the future of smart home installation? Yeah. But we've also got talks, and there's a reason for saying this. We've also got talks. I mean, we've got a guy called Ron Callis coming over from Florida. They are a marketing agency, but they're going to talk to people about effective websites, how to produce your website.
Oh, yeah.
You know, effectively, how does it sell for you? How does it work for you? So he's got an hour's session, panel discussion.
We did websites once. Okay, just get Gordon now. Wait for this. We did websites back in 2019. What's the key word that the people in the electrical industry miss off their website?
Yeah, do you want to guess? Electricians, what's the word? 50% when I
Not
surveyed
solution.
them. No, solution's on there. There's plenty of other big words on there. What's the key word 50% of electricians leave off their website?
Oh, no idea.
Yeah, go ahead and guess.
Installation.
Okay, yeah, they'd certainly put domestic, commercial, industrial, okay, if they're doing that.
Yeah. Do you have any idea?
What's the word they leave off?
Yes.
Yeah. If you were Googling somebody, what word? You want somebody to come and fit a socket in your house.
Electrician?
Electrician.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We used to bring their websites up on the show, and we used to go, and people would be sitting there, and you'd see them. So I get their phone out, and they'd be looking and thinking, I don't think I'll put an electrician on there. So I put everything but what they do. So
Electrical contractor.
Yeah, Google didn't know they were an electrician.
That's amazing. But this
But I've got to that session. That's a great session.
well, this session is
I love
is
a
an
website.
hour-long session, and it's entitled "The Website Blueprint: Essential Elements for a Standout Business Website."
Yeah.
So we're not only we're actually teaching them. We have several presenters talking about business. You know, so many electricians and indeed installers work in the business. They never work on the business.
No, and that's
And this is about working on the business.
again, it's a great reason to go to shows is to learn things you wouldn't
Yeah.
in a day at live. It's not in a day you can get a lot in, can't you?
You can, but let me just say the technical theatre, and just to name a few, we have, nobody sells, we don't allow companies to sell products and themselves in the
You
technical,
haven't met Gary yet, he'll be selling himself.
in the technical theatre.
Oh,
I knew that was coming. Yeah.
That
I've got a little
said,
bit hot and sweaty about my sessions now, yeah.
we've got a session by Snap One, Control 4,
Yeah.
technology and well-being. The well-being side of life is coming into this industry. How light affects your eyes, how the sound affects your eyes. We have HD-based tea company, you know them, Bluestream.
Yep.
Aidan from Bluestream is doing a talk on demystifying video over IP.
Right.
No product sells there.
No.
But it's demystifying the magic, if you like.
Yeah.
You coming down, John, now?
Yeah, I'll make an attempt to come to. I've been to it before when it was in Manchester.
Well, I'm sure we can sort a room out,
So,
can we?
so the message I would say there is you're not only coming along, you're not only will be able to see over 400 brands on show. Everything's working, everything's being demoed. So there's a cinema, you can sit in a cinema and it will blow your socks off. You can hear everything, every single thing is working. It's not like any other exhibition where you get a throng of people, you know, in the hall.
So you're saying when I go and see an air source heat pump 14 times at a show and I never see one turned on, is that what you're saying? So I can stand and look at a TV that's never worked. So I'm going to see it working.
Yeah, but the point is, yes, there's lots of demos going on. So you can sit in there and you can see and
You can experience it.
yeah, absolutely experience it. But also these technical theatre sessions are sessions to teach people about video over IP, about, as you say,
Yeah.
smart home installer secrets. So they're not selling things, but so there's a real educational situation there in the technical theatre.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know that these things are available. They don't know they exist.
Again, I've picked up on something there, well-being. Again, I don't think anyone's ever said how your home can make you feel. And that's just because I've personally been through some terrible things and all the rest of it. I just like being at home because I spend a lot of time away from home. But again, if you know, when you walk through that door, you've got your family, you've got your loved ones, and you've got familiarity. But wouldn't it be great if actually your home could have a feel to it, which we know a smart home can?
Well, now
that can
you're
have-
going to level 5, aren't you?
Yeah, well,
We are at level 5,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, yeah, it's just where we're going. So,
Yeah.
and actually change your well-being. How many people, walked in on that wet day and actually, just walk in and have a different feeling. And we said that level 5, we're going there now, Gordon, do you want to go there now?
well, I'll tell you, because someone went there. Our commenter of the day, Pedro Smits, who I think has come in from overseas on the continent.
Pedro
He said,
Smits is a great name.
yeah, a house is only really truly smart when it responds to the occupants.
Yeah, so that is level 5. So it's ambient and invisible.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, they've sort of used the AI in there a little bit.
That's
yeah.
what you do now. If you're
Yeah.
selling anything now,
You've got to use it. So it's ambient and invisible, and that's exactly right. That's when the house responds to you. So that could be light that changes colour, so it can go from cool white to warm white, depending on mood, depending on the time of day. So when you're more active, when you're less active, more aware, less aware, things like that. So that's the house changing towards the mood.
Yeah. And we're seeing a big also trend in air quality.
Yeah.
You probably haven't seen it. The smart home keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
In Scotland, there's a big drive on
Yeah.
air quality. They have to have air quality sensors for VOCs.
That's why they've all gone down to 20 miles an hour speed.
No less, yeah. No, but we worked in a house up there, and they had this. They had the carbon monoxide. No, CO2. It was a carbon dioxide sensor in the attic we're in, and us talking a load of hot up there. It was going off the roof. It was like, it was get out. Too much hot air in this room.
I'm more interested now. I'm always interested, but you mean this level 5 thing? That's really appealing. You know, to especially there's a lot of issues with mental health and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
No one says get subscribed in the doctors a smart home with an intelligent house.
no.
And you'll feel a completely different person. Think how much time you spend at home.
Yeah, and we're not quite there yet, but
We know that,
Yeah, but it's certainly coming, especially with it's not colour changing, but it's the light level or the colour temperature of the light that can change, and that's becoming a big thing. So you can change that within the lighting.
Well, one of the most attended sessions we ever had. Plus, I've done a podcast with this lady. She's a doctor, but she talks about well-being, lighting, and well-being. So it's all about lighting. Complete an hour's talk about lighting and how it affects your eyes and how it doesn't affect your eyes and so on. And that's the biggest session we've actually ever had in the technical theatre.
Right.
And well-being's coming into it now.
Yeah, and I like that because we've just gone through an energy crisis, whether we're through it or out the other side and all the rest of it. So we've actually gone back, turning everything back off. So really, we've ignored our well-being, and we've probably been slightly less warm. We've been slightly less illuminated and all the rest of it because we're concentrating on what everything costs us, and maybe our own cost, our own personal cost. Yeah,
Good point. A very good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Yeah. And level 5, we said this earlier, and this is something we came in on you. We couldn't believe we met you at Oldfield. So I'd like to say that, John. I've said it live on the telly. We were over the moon. We got in the van, we looked at each other and went, jackpot. Yeah, okay, so fantastic. So
I've just subscribed to an AI app.
did you?
And it now writes all my promotional material. It actually writes all my promotional material. Just thought I'd chip in on that AI thing.
Yeah,
And I wanted to touch on that as well, Gary.
It's lovely. We got the same room when I'm down there. Are you staying down there?
Stop crying.
So
He's
this.
worried about his session now because a lot of people in it.
Yeah.
That's what he's
Probably got it.
tomorrow morning. He's going to be in here. We need to start talking about that session. He's going to now. You've done it for me now. He's going to worry about that now.
I am a worrier.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 videos I've got to get sorted this week. Right. Okay. So let's go back because level 5 we said as well. Now. And we're already installing stuff that we should be level 5 ready that probably isn't, not all of it. That all of a sudden now is if my home is generating its own electricity and it's then storing it, I want to be in a position where it knows my battery's nearly full. I've got my electric scooter plugged in. I want to start charging that. I want to start kicking the washing machine over. Or the battery's getting low. I want to stop doing stuff because obviously the sun's gone in a bit. I want to catch it up for when I get home. And this all links into this level 5 thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much so, yeah. And it's not quite there yet. So there are a few companies out there that are beginning to touch on it, but not where it can move energy around so it can determine, whether or not you're able to have your tumble dryer on or whether you can charge your e-bike, things like that, yeah.
But I think the problem is there's loads of things going on in solar and battery storage, and those companies are building their little ring-fenced ecosystem that you can't get into.
Sounds like Start Smart.
Yeah. I bought some smart appliances recently. I got ones in it. They come with an app.
They're not communicating with each other, so you've got your smart washing machine, your smart tumble dryer, but they don't link into your battery.
So I get a message when the tumble dryer is finished.
Yeah.
This pops up on my phone. I have to ring my wife and tell her, do you realise that the tumble dryer is
That's it. So yeah.
You're a modern man, ain't you?
So that takes you back to level 3.
Go get it empty. Nothing worse than creasing.
Now, I will get home tonight and I'll be wiping the blood off my face when I get in because I've just said that and emptying that tumble dryer.
But it does crease though.
When I've done the dishwasher.
And of course, the ultimate
Yeah.
is there was a guy I met fairly recently. He's got a ranch in California, but he was in the UK.
Has he bought that £6,000 projector there?
No, he's got a wine cellar,
Oh, well.
and it's all censored.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when the temperature of the wine cellar drops, it alerts him on his phone.
To start drinking.
He then controls the temperature from here in California and brings his wine cellar up to the right temperature.
Wow.
That's
I would
clearly
do that
the
as
ultimate.
well,
That's the ultimate in smart home.
It is.
Wow.
I'd do that. Yeah.
I've got two
can
Alexas
do
in my
that.
house. I thought I was all over it. Wine cellars, 95 metre long driveways. But that's what we want it to, and we want to be probably less involved in the process, don't we?
Yeah.
The smarter it gets, and obviously we know about I'm sure the AI and intelligent learning, or it learns what you like in the house, but then it will learn how you manage your energy. It should be able to predict what your energy pattern is with enough data in it, won't it?
Yeah. Much like how your phone can learn what you're doing every morning or evening. So when you go into work and you get into the car and you plug your phone in, it gives you a predicted journey time. Yeah. So it's learn how you're going to sort of where you're going to go and the route that you take in the morning. And then if you're going to go to the gym or shopping in the evening, it also learns that as well. So it's very similar to that.
And I was quite excited when Nest first came to the market. They sort of were doing a lot of that, weren't they? The thermostat learns what you do with it.
Google started talking about smart home.
Yeah, they did, but then it sort of it came in and then
Petered
sort of
out.
and then the smoke alarm was brilliant as well. I know people said the first one, you know, had some issues and stuff, but the smoke alarm, I'll do the test for you. You know, I mean, the best one is I was on my way down to London. Phone gets an alert, smoke detected in the kitchen. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Right. Ring
You've left
on.
the washing machine on. No, the dishwasher's overheated. You've put too much in it. Give Caroline a ring. It's on fire.
My mother was staying, so I rang up and said,
Smoking again.
struggling with the controls on the oven. The smart home reacted to what was going ambient, you see. I was in there, but
Talking about your mum, just done smart. So his mum's just got herself a smart doorbell, hasn't she?
semi-smart home.
Well, no, we've had it here at the studios for almost 18 months. This good son said, I'll take one of those home to mum. Mum would love that. And it went in, what was it, a weekend or 2 weekends ago?
Yeah, a couple
Sent
of
me a little
weekends
video
ago.
clip. Yeah, she's
fitted
now
it.
got herself a smart doorbell. She tunes in as well, does she? Not always live.
She wants to hear about that doorbell. And obviously now I'm embarrassed about the not being able to work the oven and burning toast.
I've got a couple of girls in the office, and they've got doorbells like that, and they live in Sittingbourne, which is probably an hour's drive. Anybody rings a bell, you hear the doorbell go in the office, and she talks to the guy and says, "Oh, can you leave it next door, please, or can you leave it round the back?"
Oh, well, we're not quite there with his mum yet. It's got a battery in it, and it's wireless to a socket, and it just makes a socket chime. But I like where you thought we'd gone with the doorbell for his mother. Yeah, she's trying to find run one. Oh no, she's got Apple TV.
Apple TV.
She's already on run one. She's rocking up the ladder. But a doorbell was let down by us. 18 months you had that for.
There you go.
We got a question. We have got a question.
We have got a question. We're going to obviously ask the audience. It's semi-smart, this one. We'll call
It's
it this one.
tenuous.
It's a tenuous one. We've got an Ask the Audience. Rick, have we got an asset for that? There we go. This one came in. Here's one for the... Obviously, when it comes to Ask the Audience, we sometimes get questions in that we can't answer, so we throw them back out to you. So after testing a combined 13 amp and USB socket outlet, the 5-volt DC port doesn't work, but the 230-volt AC socket does. What code on an EICR should I give this? So there you go. So basically, a USB socket, charging socket, customers love them, socket works, they've gone in, and the USB element doesn't work.
Okay. Fair play to the person, first of all, for checking it.
Yep.
We've seen those little power meters we've used before, and we just actually see what they're coming out. So I've had to use something very similar to that to actually prove that the outlet itself is activated. And obviously found in this case, well, the customer told them, I know what everyone's going to say, but yeah, it's not working, yeah. So what's that? Is that a requires improvement? Is that I don't know, further investigation? That's always the get out, but without delay. It's like, well, we've got to.
I'll Google it.
Yeah. Well, they did. Now they're at our door. So yeah, again, so Eddie might come in with a gem for this one after his P-clip one.
He's going to come in there with one.
Okay, so yeah, we'll leave that question out for you if you can come on with that one. Again, remember, get your questions in. If you've been active in the comments, and people have been, you should get a chance on the register. Hopefully we'll pick everyone up. If we don't, as always, we apologise. We also have got to announce the winner of the Electricians Challenge, the person that won't be receiving a prize but will give up after several weeks of waiting.
Yeah, well, on that bombshell, Joe might as well do the register while those answers are coming in.
Okay,
puzzling people there. Let's cut across to Joe on the register.
Postman Joe.
Welcome to the register. Thank you for joining us. And let's get straight into it. So we have got Sergio Fernandez, sockets. We've got John Adams. We've got Sean Dempsey. We've got Gifford's Electrical, Terry Moore, Chris Horn, Early Years Learning is Fun, Sean the Spark, Andrew Watson, Joe Robinson Training, watching from Mauritius. Hope you're having fun out there, Joe. Gavin Geeney, James Kane, Pegasus Electrical and Control, Neil Bridgman, Ben C, Intruserve, Marky D, Daddy B, Tim Ballon, Colin Webb, James Shanley, Retro's a Machine, Pedro Smits, Andrew Brown, Troy Boy, Julie Gray, Pedro Smits twice apparently, and Jamie Blayton, and we'll do the prizes over here as well. So prizes are going to be flying out the door in this next few days.
They're not. You're not.
Right, so John's time was 5 minutes 12, so very commendable times from them both tonight. And the winner was Sean the Spark with 5 minutes 23. So we'll send it out to you very soon.
You won't.
Sean the Spark won another one.
Yeah, I know. It's
He's
just,
a repeat
well,
offender.
he hasn't won anything. Yeah. He's a repeat loser. Okay, I thought, did my wife get a shout out there? Early Years Learning is Fun. Oh, sorry, I apologise. Yeah. She's the only chance she gets to see me in the week.
And Julie Gray's on there, who was part of the team behind the Viperclip. I've got some news on the price of that.
Oh, have we? Yeah, we stepped in with a price.
So it is, so the clip gun, the launch pack coming out, clip gun, 2x2 ampere-hour batteries.
Yes.
So the one you're using plus a spare, 200 clips, and let's have a look. Where's it gone? Tool bag, comes with a tool bag, the charger, lanyard, £275 plus VAT.
All right, okay.
Which actually, considering includes two batteries and the charger, is actually quite good, because a lot of other ones out there what they call it now, shell only or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, I bought the Makita microwave shell only and had to buy 2 enormous batteries for it, which were nearly as much as the microwave itself.
Just pull it back in your own mind before we come back to the Viperclip. He bought himself a battery-powered microwave. Yeah, okay, yes. There's like lunacy and lunacy. We've took the electric one out now, so that just works all the time.
Yeah.
We've done 2 toasted cheese sandwiches. Rick, when they look lovely, I'm charging the batteries.
Whole new meaning to solar.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can't eat tonight, darling. The batteries are flat.
Yeah, but it runs on DC, so that must be good for the planet. That's what we're going with at the minute. We charge them on the AC. So brilliant deal there. Thank you very much for Julie for being in. I'd like to say on behalf of myself, she's been very supportive of me. Hopefully I'm delivering for her. Hopefully she enjoyed that. I'm sure there'll be some feedback tomorrow for me. And we are looking maybe early part of next week now for the review, aren't we?
And thanks everyone for chipping in with their feedback. You can incorporate all that as well.
I will do, yeah. It's a bit of, I don't say mix and mash, but I've tried to do shorts, I've tried to do a race. I've now got to do a bit of a review for them as well. So we'll try that together. Hopefully that'll be nice.
So just back to our Ask the Audience. It seems most people here are going with a C3, Gary.
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
Just needs a new one. And if it's a USB-C or a USB-A, hang on, I'll get it wrong. USB, which is the A, isn't it?
Yeah.
USB-A. So it's like, if it's a USB-A one, the likelihood is we're upgrading to USB-C. Let's wait for, is it September when the new iPhone comes out? Yeah. We're likely to be C both ends on that stage, and we want fast charging. Those USB-As don't give you fast charging.
And obviously Eddie's chipped in, the font of all knowledge, as we expected. Doesn't affect the electrical infrastructure, not an issue for the EICR, so ignore it. So there you go. Or you could argue functional testing.
Yeah.
He's bracketed. And speaking of Eddie, actually, in 2 weeks' time, Eddie is coming up here as a guest on the show.
Yeah.
Obviously, he won our eFIXX Person of the Year last year. He's been joined by the team from Vargo, or Wago to most of those people out there, apart from obviously our fantastic guest, who is from the Netherlands today. Mr. Smits is tuned in from the Netherlands.
Thank you.
So that's good.
Wow.
So that's good. So I mean, we've done an hour and a half. I said it would fly by quickly. We've actually done 99 minutes.
Okay. And again, just for Eddie, I'm going to speak to him before Andy. I've already messaged him. So I greatly apologise. I've managed to clash with an actual holiday for me, whereas last time I was painting a week. I'm actually going away for a week on that one. So personally, I'm a little bit disappointed I don't get to see him, but I will be watching from wherever I am in the world that you suggest I am. So no point telling you. Leave it as a surprise where I'm going. So that's great. So Person of the Year, very well-deserved award for Eddie, and I'm sure it'll be an emotional ceremony when he receives his trophy on that day as well. Thanks to the great people at Wago for supporting that. However, this live stream is supported by some fantastic people, and we couldn't do the show fortnightly without them. Our headline sponsors are BG Lasico, people that bring us the Lasico Lighting Group, as well as the wonderful EV charger Sync EV, and they've upped that now, so you can get a 22 kilowatt 3-phase one. I've seen that floating around, and I just don't remember anyone else.
Of course, Doncaster Cables. Yes. There's a great video you put out last week with the PV Ultra cable. Great bit of innovation there from them. Luden Palazzoli in the East Italy of East Essex, or Braintree as we call it, and the fantastic people across at My Energy.
Yeah, who are in that space of trying to connect stuff together, and I think that's been the story today, isn't it? There's a ladder in which we can join. We're all at least on run one. I think some of us don't believe we're actually further up the ladder than we originally started from. And it's a journey we're going to take. And to help that journey, you come along, and hopefully you'll be there as well, John. I really would love you down there. I really would.
We're roped in onto a panel now. Yeah. Could be helping you out, actually. Just put pencil in.
Pencil him in on both panels.
Scottish John.
Scottish John's going to join us as well. And you would be an absolute asset to that as well, coming from your background as well. Come down, okay, come and see us. Can we bring the VT in of it as well so we can get it? Obviously, we're going to see Andrew Brown down there. There isn't a show that I go to where I don't get to. And if I do not see Andrew Brown and I see him at another show and he doesn't turn up in Farnborough to see me, I will never speak to the gentleman again. So I'm expecting to see him down there. Andrew, and you're on tonight as well. So I'm hopefully going to see you down there. And as I said, I've got two panel discussions to do. After that, if you are walking around there and you are wanting to be involved in smart technology, you can drag me to any stand you want.
And all I would say is thank you for you guys for this recording. But if any of you guys and gals out there want to come to EiLive, you can register free to the sessions and free to the show at www.eiliveshow.com.
And that link is in the description.
In the description.
And it has been for weeks.
Pinned in the comments, yeah. But I say it's great to hear as many people. We're delighted actually, because that puts Gary under real pressure, and we love that, because he's an analog man in the digital world, as we started with that. It sounds like a great opportunity for people. We've had some fantastic guests. John, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah.
For in
Can I
there.
just say one more thing?
You can, David.
Can you get some more comfortable chairs?
No, these chairs are deliberately uncomfortable, so we finish on time. Could you imagine?
Sat longer than
Made
these.
you,
Yeah.
you just ooze back into it. Yeah.
Yeah, them Top Gear ones are really soft.
How can you ooze? How can you ooze into these?
We
Well,
don't
you
do
can't.
that.
You don't, that's the
There you
whole
go.
point, isn't it?
At one point in the team, this was our only seated furniture, and me and him, we were hunched over for ages, weren't we?
Like
This was what it sounded-
Quasimodo coming out at night time.
Absolutely.
It was, these are.
We thank you if you joined us on Facebook on live. We thank you if you joined us on YouTube. However, if you've done it on catch up, well done also for getting to the end of the video. And we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time, where I won't be here, but the great Eddie will be replacing me, so I won't be missed. Remember, this is your chance to see if your name appears in the end credits. Thank you very much, and you'll see them in 2 weeks.